In this project, we were invited into Ole Caprani's Lego laboratory to program and play with Lego robots. We were all given a Lego Mindstorm robot, which we were to program for different assignments. A real assignment was to examine and reflect on how the education took place in the laboratory. The first assignment we got was Lego Sumo Wrestling. We had to build a robot that could wrestle another robot. It should be able to stay in the wrestling ring and should somehow be able to push the competitor out of the ring. We got free hands on this assignment in both regards to programming and building the robot, and it therefore left a lot of room for creativity and innovation. The second assignment we got was to build a robot that reacted to different colors and could follow a specific course. Here we were shown the program and had to duplicate the exact program to make the robot follow the course. One of us tried to build a program that did the same thing but with a different programming. A teacher didn't want us to do this and said that this was a problem he often had with his students. This assignment didn't leave the same room for creativity and innovation as it was a replica of the program our teacher had. If we look at Sharon Robinson's description of entrepreneurial learning, it seems that the first assignment encompasses the competencies required for an entrepreneurial mindset in a much higher degree than the second one does. The first assignment has a learning that's led by creativity, informal learning, curiosity, and so on. The Danish government see the ability to innovate as fundamental in all levels of education. In this regard, the second assignment seemed like old-fashioned duplication of what the teacher writes on the board, what Jesper Tegge calls the echo room. Whereas the first assignment seemed to inspire behavior that reminds of the third wave in Jesper Tegge's theory about the three waves of the internet. In the first assignment, we were searching the net for help and writing the program, downloading programs, and remixing them to come up with a program. Here the whole world was invited in the classroom.
The teacher Ole in the lab starts by giving us some basic skills and showing us how to do, and then giving us the possibility to work with our new skills by giving us some reachable assignments, and at the same time allowing us to be personal and individual while we design the robots. It is here clear to me that Ole makes an effort to design the teaching environment so that we, the students, are able to reach the feeling of flow. And with flow, I mean the theory by a guy whose name I can't pronounce. But when you are in flow, you are able to be creative and innovative. So this is a very desirable mode to try to reach in a learning environment, and therefore something we should try to have in mind when we are creating learning environments.
Things we were doing was constructing and testing until we finally reached the point that we were satisfied. One of the things that were the same was the expression thinking with your hands. We did a lot of thinking with our hands because we had to build our own Lego Mindstorms Sumo bots, and we also had to do a lot of programming. Sent it to a text from a Thinkering Studio, which is a scientific lab that is situated in a museum, exploratorium in San Francisco. And in many ways, this is similar to what we have experienced at Ole Caprani's Lego lab in Aarhus. You could also call this process of being doing, knowing, and becoming. Doing because we had to do a lot of constructing. We knew something about knowing how to build, knowing how to learn, but also being and becoming because we had to interact with each other. We had to learn from each other. We had to help each other. Or we didn't have to, but we did it. We had to be innovative because all of the computers could do the same. All of the Lego Mindstorm robots could do the same. So if you were innovative, perhaps you could get that advanced, so you could get just a little bit better than the other projects, so you could win. There was also a bit of creative because there was a multiple pathway when you had to construct them. You could follow the recipe, but you could also go slightly your own way, and also in the part of programming. But programming is something that we're not used to do. So it's a bit difficult to be creative in that field.
Our work at Ole's Lego Mindstorms Lab can be divided into two stages. The first stage consisting of linear teaching in what Jesper Tegger refers to as the Echo Room. We had to learn how to build the robot and how to program the robot. The second stage, consisting of a community of practice, we all individually and interacting with each other had to figure out how to design and build our robot so it could do well in the competition in general. And what caught my attention the most was that I don't think I would have been as creative in the second stage if I hadn't been through the first stage. So the way these two types of teaching supports one another in this situation, I find very interesting.
Students agreed that we were motivating when we was expanding the program. When we had built the pre-designed robot and program, it was when we was expanding the program we had to think about how the physical world, the robot, and the digital world, the programming could work together, and what sensors should we use and how should we program the sensors so it could make the most impact. In the back of my mind was always how we could win, what could make the most powerful robot, what combination of sensors and physical appearance could win me the game. It was the cooperation between the physical world and the digital world that makes this assignment so creative and make me think a lot about how to design and how the physical and virtual world could work together.